As John Salt likes to call, an alumni of the Recharge with Milk and the Multisport Canada Triathlon Series. He got his start. He did his very first triathlon ever at the Bellwood Triathlon, I believe, 10 years ago.
To the day.
To the day. So now he's a world-class 70.3 racer and long-distance triathlon. He won and defended his title at the Eagleman Triathlon a few weeks back, about a month ago. And then I think it was last weekend, or was it 2 weeks ago at Mount Tremblant, he finished fourth. I think a little disappointed to be off the podium because it would have been a Canadian sweep with Lionel Sanders in first, Trevor Wurtle in second, and Cody, he would have been third. We wanted him to finish third, but he was fourth. So next year he'll finish. So how's the season been going for you this year?
Oh, it's shaping up really well. There have been some ups and downs, but repeating the win at Eagleman was the real highlight for the first half. And I've just taken a good mid-season break, and I'm really eager to get back at it for the second half of the season now.
So what will be the goal for the second half of the season for you?
The A race for the second half of the season is the ITU Long Distance World Championships, which are close by relatively this year in Oklahoma in September. So that's a step up in distance for me. It's a 4K swim, 120K bike, and a 30K run. So looking a few years down the line to Ironman, this is a good stepping stone towards that.
So we did have this conversation last year when we were at the Triathlon Ontario Awards and the Multisport Canada Awards. I asked you, I put the big question to you, and I hope I'm not putting you on the spot. When will we see you at the full Ironman distance?
Well, that's the question I get asked a lot, and I might look at one as early as next fall. If not then 2 years from now I'll be 28, and that sounds like a good age to start taking a look at Ironman.
And what's it like? I asked Lionel this. We did a little informal Q&A with Lionel as well. With all of these men and also women who are competing internationally at the long distance race, at the Ironman and the 70.3 race, and doing really well. We have Lionel, we have yourself, Taylor Reed, Brent McMahon. Brent almost broke the world record for Ironman distance just a month ago. Jeff Simons, Angela Nath, Heather Wurtle. You're all world class. What is that? How does that feel? Is that a point of inspiration for you?
Certainly, it's really cool. And every interview I do in the U.S. and stuff, they're always saying, "What's in the water up there in Canada?" So it's an honor to be part of this tremendously talented crop of Canadians. And there's also a fantastic friendly rivalry among all of us. So at the pro meeting before Mont Tremblant, when most of us are there, we're best friends. But on the race line, the race start, there's no one we'd rather beat than our fellow Canadians. So a nice friendly rivalry we all benefit from.
So you've got some help from some great sponsors. Tell us a little bit about the fancy Ventum bike. It's off in the distance, just over to our stage left there. It's really state of the art in terms of bike aerodynamics, and I'm sure a help for you on the bike.
Yeah, I'm privileged to work with some great sponsors, and Ventum is one of them. They're laying claim to being the fastest bike in the world, and they've got some excellent wind tunnel data to back that up from independent testing. It certainly is a radical bike in terms of its look, so there's no missing it in transition. And so far this year, I've done very well riding that.
Awesome. And what about the good folks at Martin's? You got to try out these apple chips, folks. They are really they're super tasty. They're local here from the Fergus area, correct?
That's right. So not only are we supporting a local race company here, Martin's is also a local food producer. So there's a nice tie in there in terms of local economy. And I'd like to give a shout out to Martin's. This is their first foray into sponsoring a triathlon. So it's really cool to see a non-triathlon industry company come in and inject some money and sponsorship into triathlon. So let's give Martin's a round of applause for believing in triathlon and being the title sponsor here today. Hopefully that will grow into an even bigger relationship with Multisport Canada.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that, Cody. We're gonna get three questions, three really quick questions from the audience. Then we're gonna get going with our award ceremony because I know people want to get on with a very busy weekend. Hang in here for the questions, Cody. So 3 questions for Cody. Hands up. Come on, there has to be a question for a world-class triathlete right here in your own backyard.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
How much time do you spend training?
How much time does he spend training? So how much time do you spend training? What's your average sort of training per week? What's a big week? What's an easy week? And what's your average week?
I like this question, and it's one pros get a lot, and a lot of them will just say, 30 hours. Everyone likes to quote their biggest, most impressive week. But that's not the reality for most of us. So I'd say I average 18 hours over the course of the year. My lightest weeks are closer to 0 when I'm recovering. My heaviest weeks are closer to 30 when I'm really hammering.
All right. Another question. Yes, in yellow back there. Just shout it out.
What's your most effective food while you're racing?
what's the most effective food to eat while he is racing and training, other than Martin's apple chips? What is the most effective food?
I was just gonna say you set me up for a perfect sponsor plug. But seriously, they are. I do eat Martin's apple chips post workout all the time. They're really easy, mostly carbs, so perfect to replenish that. I like to mix my own sports drink when I'm racing. But really, I've learned to be flexible. I don't have any specific diet, and that's the norm for most high-level athletes. We're flexible. We don't follow special diets with names, and that's a function of traveling a lot and eating a lot with homestays and other people. Flexibility is the most important thing.
Do you make a lot of your own food? Is the question.
Yeah, I don't want to apply labels like clean eating or anything like that, because that means different things to different people. But I do try and stick to really wholesome food that I prepare mostly myself, minimally processed when I can. But when I'm traveling or racing in Mexico or South America, maybe I'm just going to be getting whatever I can at the convenience store. So flexibility, yeah.
Awesome. One last question. Last question for Cody Beals. Yes, in the back there in red. Favorite race and hardest race course. What's your favorite race?
Oh, that's another.
Other than the Bellwood Triathlon.
Well, there are a number of MSC races that hold a special place in my heart for sure. The Barrelman was great when I did that 2 years ago. I'm also a huge fan of Muskoka 70.3, which is this weekend, I believe. That's a tremendously challenging course, and I'm sad they don't have a pro race there anymore, but it's a fun one.
You also will get to hold the Welland half iron distance course record in perpetuity, because we're not running that in Welland anymore. So that might be one of your for your list of favorites. I think it was hardest was the other question. The back half of the question was, what's the hardest race course you've ever done?
Oh, that goes to Muskoka and a tie with Silverman 70.3, which is now also discontinued, unfortunately. Very hilly courses, and Silverman also hot.
Why do they take out the hard courses? It's supposed to be a hard sport.
I don't know. I feel the same way.
He feels the same way. He wants them all to be hard. Okay, folks, one more round of applause. Cody Beals, world class.